Welcome back, my friends, to BJJBrick Q&A, where you send in your jiu-jitsu related questions, and I try to help you out. Today we have a question from my friend Buck. It's a rather longer question. I'll pop it up on the screen, but I'll sum it up for us. He started 3 weeks ago. He's 40 years old. He really wants to make sure he's showing his training partners respect while he rolls, and part of that is he wants to avoid getting injured. He's particularly worried about his shoulders. He's not sure if he's not sure how much resistance he should be giving his training partners. He does have 2 white belts that he trains with that he feels he can go fairly hard with, and they're not going to retaliate or go too hard. But other than that, when he's rolling with somebody and he feels like he's about to get an advantage or get a submission, he kind of backs off a little bit. And Buck's main goal is to have fun and the fitness aspect of jiu-jitsu. So Buck, thank you for the question. I'm going to try to help you out today. First off, I love your goals of fun and fitness, and jiu-jitsu is definitely able to provide those, provided you take care of yourself while you're on the mat. And I think that's a great, legitimate concern that you have. You don't want to get injured while you're here. You're coming here to help your body, not break it down. And you have a previous shoulder injury. You're definitely careful of that. And I applaud you for your knowledge ahead of time as far as being a little cautious. Now, the idea of showing respect, it really depends on the person. And I would say most people in jiu-jitsu don't take it as disrespectful if you're attacking or even submitting them. It's not a respect thing. It's more of an improvement of your own abilities and get better. Now, the same idea of respect, you might be concerned about retaliation as far as right now, you're 3 weeks in, most people are rolling pretty light with you. You're talking a bit while you roll, you're asking some questions. It's kind of still in the exploratory phase of your jiu-jitsu rolling. And that's a nice phase. It sounds like you have a great team to do that with, and people are working with you. And I've heard stories of people saying, I have 2 white belts that try to murder me the whole time, and the upper belts don't even really help me out that much. So you're in a great spot. You have 2 white belts you can go hard with, and other people are willing to work with you a little bit and to talk with you, but you don't know if you could go hard against them. So by going hard against them, first off, you'll quickly know if it's bothering them, and it shouldn't bother them. Anybody who's done jiu-jitsu for a little while has been tapped out by many different people, and it's not a big deal. What's disrespectful if you do tap them out is like celebrating that afterwards, getting up and yeah, and doing that sort of thing. Because a lot of times, let's just say you have me in mount and you get up kind of high and my elbows come up and you actually get an arm bar. And the entire roll, I was being pretty playful. And then once my elbow came up, I was like, okay, I kind of want to get out of here. This guy's going to get me if I don't. So I tried. The last 5 seconds is 100% my effort, but it wasn't enough. And I started trying to escape too late. And you got the submission. So you get up, and if you celebrate and you high-five somebody or you talk to somebody after class about how you tapped me out, that's disrespectful. Just act like, yep, I got that submission. And a lot of times, especially when you're new, realize that a lot of the game is being played, not being fought. So the fact that you were able to attain mount was in a playful manner. The fact that you passed my guard or you did this or that, that's all being done in sporting and a playful way. So the fact that you get up and celebrate this great victory is a little disrespectful. And I'm not saying, obviously you're not doing that, but that to me is the time that you see a little bit of lack of respect, a little frustration from the training partner as, yeah, this guy just tapped me out. Even if I was fighting hard. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I don't know if you took a break last round and I competed against the toughest guy in the room and you watched me get exhausted and then you jump on me and then you celebrate. Even if you jump on me and you beat me, as long as you're not like celebrating how great you did and making a public scene of it, sure, in your head think that was awesome. I'm doing so much better than I was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. That sort of thing is great, but the disrespect is shown. Like you said, I don't want to show disrespect. Don't display disrespect. Give him a high five, thank him for the roll, and if last week I helped you tighten up that arm bar, and this week you actually landed it on me or somebody else, you might say, hey, that really helped me out a lot. Not necessary, but that's one thing you could do. But people aren't disrespected by being attacked or submitted. That's just part of the game. But they could be disrespected by how you act while it's going on. If you think it's really funny or you're overly boastful about it, that could be a frustrating source, and that could get retaliation. Now, you are cautious of retaliation, and you will see this sometimes. You tap somebody out, and they're going to roll significantly harder towards you after that submission. And that, I think, is one of two things. They're frustrated they got tapped out. Yeah, they got caught. And in jiu-jitsu, when you get caught, you got to tap. It's pretty much a no-brainer. You don't want to get injured. So they tap, and then they're going to really show you what they're made of. And it's coming out of a source of frustration more than disrespect. And so just maybe you could gauge who you're rolling with as far as who would have that reaction versus try not to tap anybody out. Just this guy, he's particularly aggressive, and he seems to be very prideful. He, these sort of attitude or attributes, you might want to back off a little bit on those people. But in reality, they need to be tapped out too. As a 3-week white belt, and by the time you're hearing this, probably 4 weeks or 5, but you're not going to be tapping a lot of people who are pretty good unless they're playing with you. And if they're playing and having fun and helping you learn and grow, that's fine. That's part of the environment. And you expect your rolls to get a little bit harder, but harder rolls don't mean not safe. You just don't want to catch a bunch of people being upset with you. And I understand that you're trying to avoid that. I don't think that's going to happen when you start to submit people. They're going to be happy for you. They are your teammates. And if it becomes too hard, you'll figure out who you like to roll with and who you don't like to roll with. And it's perfectly fine. You're a guy in your 40s. Your main goal are fun and fitness. It's not to become the next extreme grappling sensation that sweeps the nation. So know those are your goals. If you don't want to roll with somebody, that's perfectly fine. But you do kind of test the waters and see what happens when you pick it up a little bit. But I suspect if you pick it up a little bit, they'll pick it up a little bit, and they'll probably shut down a lot of your game because you're still learning that. And then it's okay to have some rolls. You roll hard with me this week, and next week you roll a little bit softer, and your training partner should see that and adapt the way they're grappling with you. Buck, I hope I helped you out. I love your goals of having fun and getting fitness out of jiu-jitsu. It sounds like you've got a great team, and you're really working the right way towards things. Don't worry so much about disrespecting people by actually doing jiu-jitsu. They should be used to that. And as the years go by, you'll be used to that too. You'll have the new guy trying to attack you. It's not disrespectful. They're trying to work on stuff they've learned today. And that's an important thing to do. So keep training, have fun, and stay sweaty.